My name is Becky Setra. You're very welcome to my channel. So today I have a guest. She's got a YouTube channel as well, and she's going to be introducing herself. I have talked a lot about nursing, but today she's going to be talking to us about how to relocate to UK as a midwife from overseas. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you're all ready to listen to her. So can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Joy Gonoje. I'm a registered midwife as well as a registered nurse, but I'm currently practicing as a midwife in the UK. And I've been in the UK. Okay, I've been in the UK for like 10 months now. I know that should probably be the next question, but I just decided to come into the UK as a midwife because of the passion for it, number one, and then every other thing. So yeah, yeah.
You're very welcome to the UK.
Yeah.
So you said you've been here for about 9 months.
10 months today. 10 months
Oh,
today now.
oh,
Today is my
okay.
anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're almost 1 year old here, isn't it?
Almost. Yeah.
Okay, so how long were you practicing midwifery or nursing before relocating?
Okay. I was practicing nursing, I think I was doing both of them, like nursing and midwifery, because back home in Nigeria, how we work is you are employed as a nurse, but you're doing both things.
Yeah.
So you're doing nursing, you're doing midwifery. If a lady should come into the world like she's pregnant, you have to take the delivery because you were employed as a double qualified,
Yeah.
like nursing and midwifery. So they combine it, double qualified or single qualified. So I was a double qualified and I was working as both. And I was practicing for like 5 years in Nigeria before I decided to relocate. Yeah.
Okay, that's fantastic. All right.
Mhm.
So, one thing I've realized people have been saying it's very difficult to
Mm.
relocate or find a job from
Yeah.
overseas as a midwife as compared to nurses. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I have to debunk that because that's not true. It's totally not true. You can get a job as a midwife as much as it's just the same like percentage, the same amount of number of jobs on track for nurses is the same for midwives. Because like over here in the UK, there's a lot of space for people, like so many job vacancies. You have band 7, band 5, band 6, and every day in the world we complain of staff shortage. So we want people to fill that in areas as well, like people to come and work in that area and all that. But I don't think most people know about the fact that UK employ midwives as well. I used to have that belief. I used to be like, okay, I need to be a nurse, complete my BSc. I actually was preparing to get my BSc to be able to come to work in the UK as a nurse because I felt they don't accept any other thing. But when I got the right information, I used it, I put it to use. It actually worked for me. I realized that UK employ every kind of person, whether you are a nurse, you are a midwife, you are a head, or whatever you are. There are a lot of job vacancies. There are openings every day because people are coming in, people are leaving every day. There are so many job vacancies. Come to the world, you will see a lot of spaces that need to be filled. So, if you are a midwife, whether you're a midwife, you're a nurse, whatever you are, just apply for the jobs. Go online, go to the right sites, get applications going and come to the UK. You'll get jobs.
Yeah. So you started with creation of the NMC account
Yeah,
registration process, and then you
yeah,
did your CBT,
yes,
you did your IELTS, and
yes.
then so it's the same as the nurses will do. Is that right?
It's the same as a nursing process. So let me just outline it again. First, you get your international passport if you want to, come to the UK as a midwife. Get your international passport ready. Then, start your NMC and verification, Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria or of Ghana or the country you're in. Start the verification to verify your license and your credentials. Then, open your NMC UK accounts, online accounts, and then they are going to communicate with each other, verify your license, and then they would, tell them, okay, you're verified, you're good to go. And then NMC is going to send a link through Pearson View to you to register for your CBT exams. So I'm guessing that's the same way nurses do it. So it's basically the same thing. And when you get the link, you register for your CBT, you pass it. You must, in this process, you must have been trying to do your IELTS as well, or you can do it afterwards. It doesn't matter which comes first. So get your IELTS, get your CBT, and then, start applying for jobs. Just start applying.
So how long did it take you?
Just, I would say roughly 1 year, because I
Okay.
started this whole process in June. Yeah.
All right.
And I came in May, the next year.
Oh, okay. So, did you use an agency or did you apply directly to the trust?
I applied directly.
Great.
At this point, yeah, there was no agency that was kind of recruiting, because they kind of red listed Nigeria.
Yeah.
Said Nigeria is under the red list country, so they were not accepting again. So we had to apply directly to the trust, the hospitals, and we got a lot of job offers. But it takes a while because you have to keep applying and applying. But eventually we got a lot, and we had to choose which one do I go with.
You had a choice. You were spoiled with choices. So, you use Track or you use NHS Jobs? Which one did you use?
I use everything. When you are doing this process, actually, you have to, go all round and round, because you don't know where your job is coming from. You don't know where it's coming from. I use Track Jobs. I used Indeed. I used NHS Jobs. I used Total Jobs. I went on LinkedIn. I have a LinkedIn account, and I went there to also, get across to the trust as well and make my application. So I did everything possible.
Yeah. That's one thing I've realized. Some people, they try one or two and they say, oh, I've been trying and I can't get jobs. And I keep saying, you know what? You have to put in about 100.
Just 100 is a little number. So it's a little. I did apply to over 400 applications, like 400 or something. And that was when I started getting job offers, because even though your supporting statement is so good, that's your supporting statement now that is talking about is so good, it's so wonderful. Sometimes it takes a while before it gets to them, because by the time some applications get to them, they've already gotten the person they are looking for, or the number of people they are looking for. And it's not because your own is not so good, it's just because they've gotten what they are looking for. And then you have to just keep applying. Your luck will come one day and you get your job, and you're good to go. Yeah.
So when you came, so with nursing, I know that when the nurses arrive, they do the OSCE program and all that as a band 4. Some trusts will give them band 4 before, after registration, they become a band 5. How does that work with midwives?
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. Okay. Yeah. So when I came into the country, the trust had already booked my OSCE exams. And as soon as I came in, the next week I started attending training. Yeah. They were training me. They designated, like, I think 2 people to, start training me. I was the only one then. I was the first midwife the trust was recruiting from Nigeria. They had others from other countries, but I was kind of like the first from Nigeria. So they were kind of test running with me as well. They weren't sure if this is how it is done or not. And after attending that training, I went for my first OSCE, though I couldn't write it that day because I didn't go with my passport.
Oh,
sorry
no.
for that day. Yeah. So I had to come back home and rebook. They rebooked the date for me. Okay. Yeah.
So how did you find the OSCE?
Oh, it was okay. It's just, I don't think it's really hard if you ask me. It's just, doing what they say you should do. Yeah. Yeah. They've given you a checklist, they've given you guides, on what to read, how to prepare. This is what you're going to see. Say, they just basically write the things for you and say, okay, present this to me on that day. Yeah. And if you do it as they've told you to do it, you pass your OSCE.
Yeah. That's right. So when you came accommodation-wise, how have that been for you?
Oh, yeah. My trust did give me 3 months free accommodation. Okay. Some trust give 2, some give 3, some give 1, depending, but they definitely do give. So they make sure you're comfortable as soon as you arrive. They come to pick you up from the airport to the accommodation, then give you some food items and all of that, make you comfortable. The support here as regards that is really, really amazing. It's so amazing. So I was comfortable for 3 months, and then afterwards I had to look for my accommodation. Yeah,
That's good. I think for nursing as well, it's similar to some trusts, but each organization is different as to
Yeah.
what they offer as well, isn't it? So
Yeah.
currently, how are you finding midwifery in the UK?
No. Yeah. I would kind of say I prefer midwifery in the UK to nursing in the UK. Nurses,
Okay.
please forgive me, but
No, it's
I
okay.
am more comfortable being a midwife here in the UK because when you
Okay.
consider the long hours, the workload, and then okay, you see you're in the ward, you're taking care of a lot of patients, and it's draining, and you still have to work the 12 hours. And then being a midwife, for instance, you're taking care of a woman in labor, you're doing one-on-one care, you just be with the same woman till she delivers, and probably she might end up delivering at the end of the shift or even the next shift,
Yeah.
but you're just with that woman, that lady, just one, and throughout the shift. So it's kind of sweet and comfortable
For
for
you,
me.
yeah. Because as you said, as compared to nursing, you may have
Yeah.
a bay to yourself, you may have
Mm,
8 to 10 patients,
yeah.
and you have to do the IVs, you have to do.
Yeah.
I've been off the
Yeah.
ward for a long time, so but that is what usually happens. So
Yeah.
as you said, it's just like ITU and the rest. You have your number of
Mm,
patients you're looking
mm,
after for the day. And
yeah.
like midwifery, you have 1 or 2 women you have to
Yes.
look after. And as
Yeah.
compared to the ward, you have
Yeah.
many people to look after. That's right.
That's
Okay.
true.
So, what is your advice to any overseas trained midwife who is thinking of relocating to the UK? What would be your advice to them?
Oh, I would say get the process started and don't give up in the process. And also, don't do a little thing and feel you've done so much. Like put in all the work, put in all the energy. I can't begin to explain the amount of energy that this thing took from me, the time, the dedication. Because at some point I was about giving up because
Yeah.
we weren't getting job offers. Where like it was really exhausting, and you just have to keep the faith alive then and know that definitely you're going to get a job. And it's not because you're a midwife that you're not getting a job.
Yeah.
It's just because it's the way it is. Nurses suffer as well. Doctors suffer. Like a lot of people suffer to get jobs. Sometimes some people are so lucky they get it on their first try, but you just have to keep trying and don't blame yourself for being a midwife. That's why you're not getting a job. It's just because of the way it is. So keep the faith alive, keep trying, and can't wait to see you here.
I know. And I think, as you said, these jobs are very competitive.
Very,
So
very.
apart from keeping applying to several, as many as you can, people
Yeah.
need to be ready to do some of
Yeah.
these things, the research and whatever they have, the input into it. They have to be ready to do that.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
top of that, your CV has to be a good standard CV,
Yeah.
because if they are recruiting or shortlisting 10 out of 100, they're looking on a paper
That's true.
before, whatever, how you are presenting yourself on
That's
paper
true.
before
That's
they
true.
shortlist you. I forgot
That's
to
true.
ask, what about the interview? How was it?
Yeah. Before you're called for interview, they have to look at your supporting statement, your CV. So I was going to say just now, like, you have to make that supporting statement because that's the most important thing in your job application. Make it actually speak for you, because when you're not there, you're not with them. You've done your application and you're not with them. So you don't know what they're thinking, what they're doing, how so make that supporting statement speak for you. Put in all the things you do, all the things you are, everything in there. Because they are not going to call you to come and start explaining yourself. That is what they are going to raise that will tell them everything about you. So after they read that, they'll be happy to invite you for interview. And then, you have to also prepare well for the interview. My interviews, the first one, when I was applying for all kinds of bands, band 7, band 8, band 5, band 10.
No.
The first job
No.
I got, the first interview I got was a band 7. I did pass the interview, but they said, it's a band 7, and I'm in Nigeria. I need to start as a band 5. So that was what happened with that. So when you're preparing for your interviews, you just have to read about the trust. get to know their trust values, the hospital, what they uphold, the values they uphold, because you want to be able to relate that to your own personal values. Because they're going to ask you, like, how does this relate to your own personal values? They want someone that is able to work towards achieving their values, not against them. You understand? So you have to really actually prepare for it in order to pass the interviews, and be able to tell them about yourself, because this is one of the vital questions they ask as well. Like, tell me about yourself. Be able to tell them a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
Don't just give my name is Joy Gonoje, like the way I introduced myself at the beginning of this video. Don't do it like that, because they are not going to get enough information from you like that. Tell them everything. Yes. Don't feel you're talking too much.
Yeah.
Over talk. Let them be the one to stop you. Okay, it is enough. Go to the next question. Okay, and read about the other things as well that they ask, because different trusts have their different interview patterns. So you communicate with your fellow midwife, fellow nurses, and get to know what they ask and prepare for it very well, because you have to make use of that particular interview to get your job offer. Yes. It doesn't come often.
You're right, isn't it? And as you said, in the application process, your personal statement is the most important thing. That is where you have to sell yourself. And to write your personal statement, actually, is very important to look at the job description, look at the person's specification that comes with the job. And then you use that to answer the questions. And, if you're able to show on paper that you meet those specifications, that's it. And then tell me about yourself. That is where you sell yourself, everything. Exactly. So I know you have a YouTube channel as well.
Yes.
So can you tell us a bit about your YouTube channel and how people can find you? Because I'm sure there are a lot of midwives out there from overseas who would be wanting to come, and they would like to speak to or contact someone who has gone through the process. As I said, I came 20 years ago. Our process was completely different from you guys, your processes. So if someone is a midwife is contacting me, I wouldn't be able to give them, the information as compared to you who have gone through. So tell us about your channel and what you do on there.
Okay. My channel's name is Joy to the World. Probably I might, attach the link to the video here so that you'll be able to access it. But it's just Joy to the World. And I talk about relocation as a midwife. I also, divert to nursing as well, because they are kind of linked. And then I give information about, getting admission here in the UK. It's just basically everything about, coming to the UK, how to relocate to the UK, and getting job offers, getting admission, and just going around that area.
Okay.
So
it's Joy to the World.
Yes, Joy to the World.
That's a good one. I'm sure it wouldn't be too difficult to find either. So yes, I think I've got the link, or you can send me the link via email, and then I can copy and add to the video. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for taking. I know Sundays are very busy for all of us. So how many hours do you do?
Oh, we do 7.5 hours a week. So that's like 12 hours a day for 3 days. Then the fourth week of the month is like 4 days you're working. So 12 hours every shift, and then for 3 days in the week. Then you get the 4 days off. And then the fourth week you get to work 4 days, get the 3 days off to complete your 7.5.
That's not bad, isn't it? So thank you so much. And I'll speak to you on the other side.
All right. Thank you for having me. Thank you, guys.
No worries. Remember to subscribe to her channel as well. Contact her for any information you want. All right. Take care.
All right.